guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade horse treats. So I have made them before and Chino and Teddy really love them. I will start showing you how to make them. I've got some things here, I'm not sure if you can see them on camera, but before I start I want to do a quick little disclaimer that I'm just going to say make these at your own risk, which I have fed these to Chino and Teddy and they're absolutely fine. I have checked and they're all edible for horses, and I've given them out to friends, and their horses are absolutely fine eating them. But I'm just going to say make them at your own risk, just in case when you make them you accidentally put something wrong in, or you cook them a bit differently or something. But I am 99.999% sure that your horse is going to be absolutely fine eating these, but I'm just giving you a quick little warning, but I am pretty sure that they are going to be absolutely fine eating these and they're probably going to really like them. But if you don't own the horse that you're going to feed them to, then maybe just ask their owner before you feed them those treats, because they do have oats in them, and I've heard that sometimes oats can make horses a bit sort of speedy and a bit sort of wah! So if you've got a bit of a lazy horse, maybe that'll be good. But okay, so now all disclaimers and warnings put aside, I'm going to show you what you're going to need to make the horse treats. Sorry about these short sleeves, I actually cut them myself. It's sort of like a medium summer top and winter top at the same time. Don't ask. So I'm going to show you the things that you need to make them, and some things are optional, so you don't have to put them. So I will say which things are optional. So you're going to need a little cup, or I've got this little bowl cup thing for weighing things in. You can use a cup or a bowl, or you can basically use anything that can hold stuff in it. Next you're going to need a weighing scale so that you can weigh how much you put in. You probably could just eyeball it, but if you want to be very exact, then you can use one of them. You will also need a plate. Now this is optional, but it just makes it a bit easier to make with a plate, but you don't need it. So yeah. You will need some oats to put in the horse treats. Some very tasty oats. And you'll need a nice big bowl to put all the stuff in to mix it, and you will need a bendy carrot. I don't know why I've got a bendy carrot, but it's quite cool. So you don't actually need carrots. You can use apples, or I think you could put mint in probably as well. I've never put mint in, but I have put carrots and apples, and I have put crushed up polos in. So those are definitely safe. But you could probably put mint in, but maybe just check. You'll need a spoon to scoop and to mix. Well, you could use your hands to mix if you want. And you will need some flour. You will also need some water, but I haven't got any water here right now. Instead of water, I'll talk about this in a minute, but you could use something called molasses. I don't know how to say it, I've probably said it wrong. And you can also use honey, but I haven't really put honey in, and I think it's probably a specific type of honey, so maybe check if you want to use honey. But for me, water works just fine. So let's start making the horse treats. And one other thing that you need, which I just remembered, I nearly forgot, is a grater to grate the carrots with. So now let's start making the horse treats. Okay, so first what you will need is the weighing scale, the little cup thingy, your flour, and a spoon. So you'll put this on here, turn it on. So you want to put about 60 grams in. It doesn't matter if it's a tiny bit off. 64. That'll do. And then I'll pop this in my bowl. And then what I'm going to do is the exact same, but with the oats. So I will get the oats. I'm just going to open it completely, I think. Oh, there we go. And I'll put 60 grams. Okay, let's just see if this can do it a bit quicker. 27, 48. There we go. It's 61, but it's only one gram extra. I don't think it will matter. Just a bit of extra food for the horses. Okay. And then you can give it a little mix if you want. And then next you will start grating the carrot. And I'm just going to do a quick close-up on this carrot because it's a bit bendy. Have you ever seen a carrot like this? Weird carrot. Okay, so now let's grate some carrots. Okay, so I'm going to start grating the carrot. So there's not really any amount that you need. You can basically put as much as you want in. I like putting in quite a lot. It just makes it a bit nicer for the horses, nice and tasty. Okay, so I've got a little pile, but I'm going to try and make a little bit more. Wow! Look at that pile. Okay, okay. So now you will get the bowl. Look at this big pile of carrot. Woo! So you can pop it in. use my fingers. And then can give it a good mix. So you can put more in if you want to put more in, or you can put less in, it is up to you. But it'll probably still be tasty either way. I don't think horses are very fussy eaters. At least my ponies aren't very fussy. Okay, so now you're going to need a little bit of water. You need barely any. One time I put too much water in and it was just like a slop, and I just had to throw them away. So just like a tiny bit like that. And you can always add more, but you can't really take out the water. I mean, I guess you could sieve it out, but it's a lot easier to just add in a little bit more if you don't have enough. And something that I forgot to say that you needed was also a tray to put the treats on when you put them in the oven. Okay, I think these might need a little bit more water. But I really don't want to put too much in because I have made that mistake before. I have learned the hard way. Okay, so you want it sort of like when you're making bread, like the dough, so that it's sort of a bit squidgy but not like super wet. But also not too sort of dry, so you can sort of squidge it together and it won't all just sort of fall apart. So now I'm going to get a tray and I'm going to start putting them all out onto the tray. Okay, so I've got a tray here. I'm just putting some sort of like baking paper, I'm not really sure what it's called. Just so that they don't stick. Okay, I'm not doing a very good job, but hopefully when I put the treats on, it will sort of like squash it down a bit. So you can sort of just make them into little I guess you could make them into whatever shape you want. I just make them into sort of like long circles, like what are they called? Ovals? Like a 3D oval. I'm not very good with shapes. I'm good with horses, but I'm not good with shapes. So I think I'm just going to put this in time lapse, like speed it up a bit so you can see the next step once I've put them all onto the tray. Probably with some music. I was going to need the bigger tray. Okay, I'm sort of just like shuffling the treats a bit so that hopefully I can fit a couple more in. Because you know the saying, the more the merrier. The more treats, the merrier the pony. Although to be honest, I think Teddy probably prefers scratches than treats, but he still likes treats. Treats are very tasty. Actually, they're not very tasty. I tried one once. I haven't tried the homemade ones, but I have tried some horse treats that I bought, and it was not very tasty. But horses probably like them. They actually do like them, but I don't like them. And I don't recommend you eat them because they're probably not edible for humans. But I did try eating one once. To be honest, it just sort of tasted of like minty flour. Like it was that sort of floury texture, but sort of with that little bit of mint. I've only got one treat. Come on, shovel up everybody. Over. Well, there we go. Okay. I'm going to quickly wash my hands and then I will tell you the next step. Yeah. Okay, before I keep going with the video, I want to quickly say a bit of a sort of tip for not like wasting food. So like when I grated the carrots, I've got these end little sort of knobs, the end bits of the carrot that I didn't want to grate because I didn't want to chop my fingers off. You could probably just chop them into little slices because you could do it just like this, but they could choke, and you could feed them to your horses. We've also got chickens, so you could also feed them to your chickens. But just so they don't go to waste, I know it's a tiny little knob, but if you don't want to waste them, then yeah. Okay, so there's a couple of options that you can do now. You can either put them in the microwave, but one time I tried doing them in the microwave. I actually did it with a friend. Ivy, she's also got a YouTube channel. I will put her channel somewhere up here, so you can go and check out her channel. And she came over to my house and I tried cooking them in the microwave, and like it just took forever. It took like us to the rest of the day, like not a whole day, but it took us like probably nearly an hour. And so we were just running around like, quick. So I wouldn't recommend doing it in the microwave unless you've got like a really good hot one, but our microwave is more just for like 1 minute things, and we put it in probably for like half an hour, maybe even more. So I would recommend doing it in the oven. It's probably the quickest way. I mean, unless you've got a dragon and you can just dragon breath them, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, you just put them in the oven. So there's not really any specific heat to put them into. Basically just put them in, I put them in for about 5 minutes, and then I take them out and I just sort of give them a little squidge, like I just squeeze them a bit. If they're still quite squidgy, then they need to go back in, but if they're a bit hard, then they're pretty much ready, and something just probably if they're like nearly completely solid, then but they're still a little bit squidgy, you can sort of get like a spoon or something to go underneath them just to like flip them over so that they get equally cooked, and so that they don't get burnt. But if you don't do that, it's probably going to be alright. So yeah, I will put them in the oven, and I will now put some clips of them in the oven and what they look like at the end. Okay, as you just saw, I put the treats in the oven and took them out after 5 minutes, and they were still a bit squidgy, so I just turned them over and popped them back in. So they are currently in the oven still for another 5 minutes. I don't think I'm going to film me taking them out because it might take a couple of times me taking them out and putting them back in again and turning them over, and I don't think you want to watch me doing that like 5 times. It's probably not going to be 5, it's probably going to be more like 3. But yeah, so I will come back in a minute when I will probably have the treats here, and I will show you them when they're finished, and I might do a couple little videos just for the end of the video, like a couple little clips for the end of the video of just Chino and Teddy eating them, because it's nice to just see them eating them at the end. So yeah. Okay, the treats are now done. If you're wondering why I used a cloth, it's just because the tray is still quite hot. But I've given them a squidge, and they are pretty good. They're still a bit hot, but I'm going to put them in this container, I think. I am very sorry, I'm just really scared of hot things. Ah! They spill all over me. That was probably not the best idea. Okay, let's pick them up off the floor. Okay, I've got them now. Yeah. Okay. I'll put the lid on. And they are all done. Treats, treats. I'm going to put a little clip in now of me feeding them to Chino and Teddy just to see if they like them, which I've made them before and hopefully they will like them. Because otherwise I've put all this effort into making these lovely treats and they don't even like them. Don't ask me what that face was. So yeah, and then I think it'll be the end of the video, so yep. So it is the end of today's video now, so thank you so much for staying till the end, even if you skipped a couple of bits, but thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, then don't forget to like and subscribe, because it is a free way of supporting my YouTube channel, and it makes me so happy when I see a little notification saying someone has just subscribed, and I go crazy. I'm like, yay! So please think about doing that. And yeah, I think that is the end of today's video. So thank you so much for watching. Bye!